When you hear the sound of thunder, shut the fuck up! Fuck you!
Ted 2 is about a teddy bear named Ted, voiced by Seth MacFarlane. He gets married to his girlfriend named Tammy Lynn, and a year later, the two of them start arguing, and Ted doesn't want his marriage to end up like John and Laurie's. And when Ted tells Tammy Lynn that he wants to have a baby with her, she gets all excited until they look through their mail, and Tammy Lynn says that if Ted wants to have a baby, then he would have to prove that he's a citizen in the court of law. And it's up to John Bennett, played by Mark Wahlberg, and Samantha Jackson, played by Amanda Seyfried, to help Ted out with his situation. And I thought Ted 2 was a pretty funny movie. The plot that this movie had, I thought, was very well handled, especially for an R-rated comedy. Seth MacFarlane did a great job voicing Ted, and he also did a great job directing the movie. Mark Wahlberg and Amanda Seyfried gave great performances as well, and I really liked the chemistry that they had with Ted. Patrick Warburton, who was in the first Ted and of course Family Guy, was in this movie, and I thought his character was hilarious, especially when he was at Comic-Con in the final act of the film. I thought the reference that this movie made to The Breakfast Club when Sam, John, and Ted were at the library was really funny. During the campfire scene that was in this movie, there was a reference to Jurassic Park, and it was definitely forced, but at the same time it was pretty funny. There were quite a few cameos in this movie, including Liam Neeson, who had a really funny scene at the beginning. Tom Brady was also at the beginning of this movie, and the situation that John and Ted went through with him was weird but funny at the same time. Towards the end of this film, Morgan Freeman had an appearance, and I was definitely surprised by what his character did for Ted. It was pretty weird how John, Ted, and Sam Jones were friends in the first movie, but in this movie, Ted breaks one of his car windows, and when John and Ted see Sam at Comic-Con, he gets all angry, and they got in a fight. Even though Giovanni Ribisi's character, Donnie, is very cringeworthy, I did really like the rivalry that he had with Ted in the final act of the film, like he did in the first one. There were a couple of scenes that were in this movie that I thought dragged on for too long, like the first courtroom scene and the campfire scene, but other than that, I really didn't mind the pacing that this movie had. For the most part, this movie was different from the first Ted, even though the third act of both movies were pretty similar, especially with their dramatic moments with the main characters. Despite an unnecessary subplot with Donnie, slow moments, some forced humor, I still felt like Ted 2 was a very enjoyable sequel, and I enjoyed it just as much as the first Ted. And overall, I'm going to give Ted 2 a B+.